Hello YouTube. In this project I am restoring this. I already disassembled it, this leg vise. There are here some missing components, and it is a bit rusty, so I'm going to clean all this rust. And also the components, as you can see, are a little bent. This came without the spring. There is no spring here. When we look at the collection of parts that are here, this is the plate that would sit over here together with this mounting plate that would come over here, and the mounting plate is bent. These bits, these bolts, not bolts, these threaded bits, they are bent outwards, as you can see. This, as I said, it is bent, and the leg is bent here, and we are missing the spring, of course, that it will have to be assembled over here. It is missing, and there is no thrust. There is no thrust bearing or thrust washer that came here, so I'll have to build something like that. I have to see other models of leg vises and take advice with people that know a bit more about these issues than I do, and build something accordingly. Okay, let's start the repair or restoration of the device. Okay, I have no flatter, and to straighten the first piece, it is a fairly small piece. I have no flatter, but I have this. I'm trying to do this with a single hand. I have this bit of metal. Well, I suppose it is flat. Let's check. Sorry guys, one hand filming, the other, is it flat? Well, it is more or less flat. Let's continue. Now, to straighten the bolts that are attached to this plate, I'm going to use here the wood anvil, and this is going to be my hammer, this bit of wood. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to show you, but I only have two hands. I need both hands to straighten the thing. And now it's time to straighten the leg. The leg is, even though it doesn't look like, but it is arching on that direction. And here in this, where I marked with the soapstone, I'm going to arm it up. You can see even a little bit of a bend over here, and straighten it. Okay, to make the spring for the vise, I'm going to guide myself. I'm going to use this bar of this bit of rebar. It is 20 millimeter wide. I hope it will be okay and will not break. This is what I have for now, and I'm going to do something similar to what is in this vise over here, but no need to make these small brackets over here to keep the spring in place, because, as you may well see, I cannot touch it, it is hot still. You know, there is here this sort of box, and here is the hinge where the movable jaw moves, and so I have all this space. So, and almost forgot, the dimension of the spring in width here between the brackets, it has to be like something like 20 millimeters width, and here at the top, this distance where it is going to be attached, it is 30 millimeters. So it is going to be, I forgot the term in English, I'm terribly sorry. And the thickness of this spring over here, something like 10 millimeters, so that's what I'm aiming, 10-12 millimeters, and let's start and let's see if it works. Okay, YouTube, and I made the spring. Okay, I made the spring, I set it in place. I'll show you later how it looks like. Okay, so here is the band, here it is attached to the support. Okay, it comes here and it is here inside this box to make pressure onto the jaw, the movable jaw. Now let's see what happens. Okay, it is opening. It is still some elasticity to the spring, and now, as you can see, okay, it gets to this point, and the spring is no longer pushing the jaw. If we measure here how much it opens, it's something like 50 millimeters. That you can see, focus. Okay, it opens something like 50 millimeters. Now, the jaw can open much more, but I have to open it manually. And I think that I'm going to temper. Remove this. I'm going to show you the spring, how it looks like. Okay, and I'm going to rebend a little bit further this curve over here, and I'll try to temper this rebar, and let's see what happens. It is going to be like we are learning new stuff over here. If it doesn't work, I'll have to go to a bit of leaf spring that I have here and make a spring and make some thermal treatment, heat treatment, so it will open further the jaw. To check if I can temper here the spring, I forged this small bit from the edge of the spring, excess material. I tempered it, I hardened it in water, locked it in the vise, smacked with over there with a hammer, and it snapped into. So most probably this material can be springy after heat treatment. So that's what we're going to do next. So YouTube, you're seeing now the spring. The spring is a little bit hot. Let's put it here in place. This is supposed to be the spring. It is supposed to push the movable jaw like in this angle, at least to be open like 80 to 100 millimeters. And now it is time to try to harden and temper it so it will keep its shape, and this portion over here of the spring is not going to, this curve is not going to straighten, and this portion to be lower. So this is the spring after hardening in the oil. Sorry that I couldn't show you the process of hardening. Now I'm going to lay it here on the forge, on the fire, to temper it. I think that I want to go for a purple color. Let's use it and let's see if it breaks or if it deforms. And this was the area that was non-magnetic when I hardened it. So let's go for it and try it. This is taking a little more time. I'm just leaving it, set it here on the hot coals. I'm using charcoal as fuel, not coal. Using charcoal, and let it burn and see the colors change. And here there are the colors that we are looking for. I don't know if it is focused. Well, here it is, locked in place. You can see the bluish purplish color. Now if we let the movable jaw fall the way it is, going to give us an opening of 120 millimeters. So we are going to assemble everything. I'm going to wait just a little bit more to see how to let the spring cool, to be completely cold before I assemble everything and start applying pressure on it. YouTube, you can see this in first hand. Let's see how far can I close, and if this eventually breaks or not, the spring. Okay, fully closed. Let's open and see how much opening, and look at that. The rebar, after heat treatment, is springy. Well, it opens until 95 millimeters. It's okay. From here, the movable jaw just falls by itself. Oops. Now all we have to do is clean it and give some coat of something. Now this is the last issue that we need to repair here in this vise. There is a chip here and it is marred here in this area. And now what I'm going to do is to use the angle grinder, clean here a little bit, warm up this area with a torch, and just apply here a bead of 7018, and then grind everything again flat so I can fix this jaw. And this is after the repair. That's it. Let's check if it is straight. Looks like it is straight. I don't know if you can see it. It's focusing. And let's now assemble again the movable jaw, and let's look at it, how it closes. And look at that. It closes almost perfect, even though it is a bit hot. Let me bring something to point. Even though the jaw, the fixed jaw at the back, is slightly taller than the front jaw, but that's okay to work, that's okay. Now let's wire brush everything, and then we'll decide what to do after that. And of course we need to clean the screw and all the threaded parts with some turpentine. This is what I'm using here. I'm brushing and cleaning slowly to remove all the grease and dried oil. And now, after cleaning the thick rust and degreased everything, I have here some paint. It is written transparent. You have to believe me, for those who cannot read Hebrew. And that's what they say, but it is not completely transparent. And I'm going to start painting everything that is to paint, and that's it. All components are painted, as you can see, from both sides. And now it's time to assemble everything. I'm going to use here for the hinge of the movable jaw. I'm going to use here a bit of grease. I'm to apply grease over here in the also in the fulcrum over here, and there's some grease here at the bottom. Some grease here at the bottom of the spring. This is a bit of paint, but then, well, it will scrap away. And let's do it. And I'm going to oil. The screw. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It works perfectly okay. Makes no noise. It closes very easily. Opens very easily. The thrust washer, I saw a video by the post-apocalyptic inventor, a guy from Germany, and he made the restoration of a much bigger vise than this one, but it looks like to be from the same manufacturer, because it had the same type of plate and attachment, and the same type of stopper over here. Okay, and the thrust washer was slightly different over here, and I'll try to reproduce according to the details that are possible to see in his videos. Well, thank you for watching.